Hey guys, it's Raul again, and today I'll be sharing with you my most recent book outlet haul. So a few weeks ago, we were lucky enough to get our bonuses at work, and I decided that I was going to treat myself to a book outlet order. I kind of like to do one kind of big order to treat myself at book outlet once every year, so I picked up 12 books in my last book outlet order, and I figured that I would go ahead and share those with you guys today. So the first 3 books that I picked up was an entire trilogy, and I know I told myself a while ago that I was going to stop purchasing entire series or entire trilogies before I had read any of the books because I hadn't had the best experiences with some other, series that I've read before. I end up, picking up the entire series, reading the first, couple of books and not really enjoying them and just not finishing it at all. So I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but this is a mystery, YA mystery thriller kind of series. So I figured this is pretty fun, even if I don't end up loving it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get through the entire trilogy because they're not that large, and that is the Outliers trilogy by Kimberly McCreet. I've read one other book by Kimberly McCreet, Reconstructing Amelia, a couple years ago, which I really, really loved, but I got the Outliers, the Scattering, which is book 2, and the Collide, which is book 3. And the first one I know follows a girl who goes out to kind of find her friend. She's always kind of, saving her friend from trouble. She's always getting into a lot of trouble. So she received a text message one day to kind of go and rescue her from another problem that she's gone into. But instead of just saying where she is, she kind of just starts sending kind of these cryptic messages to kind of get her to find her. So then our main character and I believe her boyfriend go on this kind of journey to find their friend, who is apparently in some kind of danger. It sounds really interesting. I haven't heard the greatest things about it, but again, I tend to really enjoy YA mystery. I don't really have the highest hopes going into a lot of these series sometimes. So my expectations for the series are probably on the lower side, which is going to help me enjoy this a lot more. The next book I picked up was Broken Lands by Jonathan Mayberry. This is the first book in the spin-off series to Rotten Ruin. I read Rotten Ruin a couple of years ago and absolutely loved it. It's one of my absolute favorite YA series ever. It's like a zombie series, so picture a YA version of The Walking Dead, and that's probably, that's what you're getting with this series and with these books. I really like Jonathan Mayberry's writing, and I've been wanting to check out this new kind of spin-off series. I believe it's just a duology. So yeah, really excited to have this one. Really excited to, at some point, eventually jump back into this world and experience it again because, again, I really, really enjoyed that original series. And then I have another Jonathan Mayberry novel, and that is Dogs of War. This is the 8th book in the Joe Ledger series. I have yet to start the Joe Ledger series. It's pretty long right now. I believe there's 9, maybe 10 books in that series so far. I want to buddy read this with my friend Di. Both of us, I feel like we've been both collecting this series. I buddy read the Rotten Ruin series with her, and we've been wanting to start this series, the Joe Ledger series, for a while now. So yeah, hopefully at some point soon, we will go ahead and start this one at some point this year. But yeah, I found another one for cheap. I picked it up because I knew that this was a series that I was going to eventually read and want to, binge through it and everything. So yeah, really excited to have this other book in this series as well. And then speaking of not picking up books in series that I have not yet started, I picked up the Storyteller by Tracy Chee. This is the 3rd and final book in the Reader trilogy. I have all 3 books now in this series. I've heard really, really good things about this series from people that I really trust. So that's why I ended up picking this up. I believe it takes place in a world where no one knows how to read, and there's, I don't know, it's Asian inspired, there's magic and things. I don't really need to know much more other than it just being well loved and just something that sounds fairly interesting to me. And then the next book was one that I was really, really excited to find there because I've been wanting to read this book for a while now, and that is Contagion by Erin Bowman. This is a YA science fiction horror, which sounds amazing. It's about this crew who kind of receives this distress signal or something from a faraway ship or planet or something, and they go to investigate to see what's going on, and certain things happen when they get to that planet or that ship. And yes, everything kind of goes from there. I've heard really good things about this one. Again, this is one that's been on my radar for a while, and as soon as I saw it on Book Outlet, I absolutely had to pick it up. I was not planning on adding this to my TBR for March Mystery Madness, but I may if I have enough time add this to my TBR for March Mystery Madness because I'm really excited to have this one. And then I picked up a couple of R.L. Stine books, which I'm really excited about. These are the first two books in his Return to Fear Street series. The first one being You May Now Kill the Bride, and then the second one, The Wrong Girl. I absolutely love R.L. Stine. I grew up on his books. He's the author that got me into reading, that got me into loving stories, that got me into wanting to write stories. I hold so many fond memories, and R.L. Stine holds a very special place in my heart. So yeah, this is his new kind of revival of Fear Street, which I didn't really know existed. I mean, I've seen these covers around. I've been to Barnes & Noble and I've kind of seen them on the shelves and everything, but I thought they were just kind of re-releases of his older Fear Street series, and then I realized that this is actually kind of a brand new Fear Street release. I mean, obviously the title Return to Fear Street it didn't click that it was actually a new series and not just a re-release of his previous Fear Street novels. So really excited to have these two. I'm going to read these a lot sooner than later. I also picked up Of Love and Other Demons by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Gabriel Garcia Marquez wrote my favorite book of all time, which is 100 Years of Solitude, and I have been wanting to pick up more by him for the longest time. I know he has a couple of books that he's released. And yeah, really excited to have this one. It's a fairly short one. I saw it on Book Outlet, and again, just because it's Gabriel Garcia Marquez, I had to pick it up because I've been wanting to check out more of his books. But really excited to have this one. Hopefully at some point this year or next year I can pick this one up. And the next book I kind of picked up on a whim just because I needed to get to that kind of $35 mark to get the free shipping at Book Outlet. So I picked up Lola by Melissa Scrivener Love. This is an adult kind of thriller-y type of book. It follows our main character who is kind of like a drug lord. So she is very underestimated in this world. Nobody really takes her seriously because she's a woman. I guess the cops don't really pay much attention to her again because she's a woman and they don't take her seriously. But yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a very kind of brutal type book. I don't know really what to expect. I again have not heard of this book at all. I have not heard a single person talk about it. I don't think I even went on Goodreads to look at reviews or anything like that. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with this one. I'm hoping that this doesn't end up being one of those books where I just pick up on a whim and just leave on my shelf for years and then just end up unhauling, because this one actually sounds fairly interesting. And then the last book I picked up is one that I'm definitely going to read this month for March Mystery Madness, because this is the whole reason why I kind of placed this order on Book Outlet anyways, and that is Crimson Lake by Candace Fox. This is an adult mystery thriller that follows, I believe, one or two different perspectives. It's this man who was kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a murder that happens within the 6-minute time span that he's, I believe, at a bus stop, and he ends up getting accused of this murder. Obviously, he has to try and clear his name. It sounds really interesting from the reviews and stuff that I did see on Goodreads for this one. I hear that it's really good. According to some of the blurbs and stuff that are around this book, I feel like it's going to be very interesting. I mean, it's blurbed by Harlan Coben and James Patterson and everything, Lee Child. So we will see if I end up enjoying this again. This is one that I'm definitely going to read at some point this month before the end of March Mystery Madness. So yeah, you'll get my thoughts on this one most likely in my wrap-up for next month. So yeah, guys, that is it for the books that I picked up recently at Book Outlet. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these and what your thoughts are. I would absolutely love to know. Before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos every Tuesday and Friday. Thank you guys all again for watching, and I will see you all next time.